Hi everyone, I am Maria Leonila Marasigan, the leader of Group 4, and today we are going to discuss about the globalization and media. But first of all, let me introduce my group mates. Miss Julian Marasigan, Miss Camille Marasigan, Miss Rizal Mendoza, Miss Precious Camille Mendoza, and Mr. Kevin Gabriel Maranan. So before we start our discussion, we have here a pop quiz about media that I am sure we had tackled or discussed when we were on our high school or senior high school days. Kindly just say your last name if you want to answer.
It is considered as the oldest form of media. A. Mass media. B. Broadcast media. C. Print media. D. Social media. C. Print media. It refers to a vehicle or means of a message delivery system to carry in a message to a targeted audience. A. Internet. B. Social media. C. Media. D. Media platform. C. Media. It involves electronically and simultaneously sending information containing signals, print messages, and audio or video content to a vast group of recipients using television, radio, etc. A. Multimedia. B. Media. C. Broadcast media. D. Social media. C. Broadcast media. It is a useful type of media when introducing a new product. A. Online selling. B. Out of home or advertising. C. Billboards and magazines. B. Out of home or advertising. It is comprised of websites, online video or audio streams, email, online social platforms, online communities, online forums, blogs, etc. A. Internet. B. Social media. C. Technology. D. New media. D. New media.
Yay! You still remember the different types of media, and I think you're ready now for our discussion. So let us start with the presentation of Miss Julian Marasigan. So let us give the floor to her.
Cultural imperialism. So now, I'm going to discuss its short history, the definition, some example, and a conclusion. So first, let's talk about a short history of cultural imperialism. The term cultural imperialism was introduced by Herbert Schiller in the West during 1960s to 1970s. Cultural imperialism is a dominant culture. However, it has been used as a framework to explain phenomena in the areas of international relations. Actually, cultural imperialism occurs or starts when one community imposes or exports various aspects of its own way of life onto another community. So let us focus on this in more detail by defining the concept of cultural imperialism. So here's the definition of cultural imperialism. When we say cultural imperialism, it is the domination of one culture over another, or in its broadest sense, means the practice of dominance in cultural relationships, wherein the moral, methodologies, and definitions of a compelling foreign culture are imposed on one or even more native cultures. In short, cultural imperialism is promoting your own culture to another. Pagpapakita, pagpapakilala o pagpapalawak ng isang kultura sa ibang bansa. Pero hindi ibig sabihin na nagpapalawak ay mananakop like colonization. Ang pagpapalawak na sinasabi is yung open up for new culture, open for other countries. When we say colonization naman, it is the action or process of setting up a colony away from one's place of origin or yung pagpapalawak sa pamamagitan ng pananakop. In addition, cultural imperialism can take the form of a general attitude or an active, formal, and deliberate policy, including or resulting from military action. Some may see cultural imperialism in a positive and a negative way. Positive kasi they had an idea of culture of other country, and negative because they think it is a military action or yung tinatawag nga nating pananakop. Let me give you some example of cultural imperialism. Example is yung kantang Bahay Kubo. Dun sa kanta is pinapakita na nasa kultura na ng mga mamamayang Pilipino ang magtalim. Ang isa pa is yung Karinyosa. Pinapakita naman dito kung paano manligaw ang mga Pilipino. And kapag pinerform mo yon in other country, yun na yung tinatawag nating cultural imperialism. So, as a conclusion, cultural imperialism can have both positive and negative effects on global communication. It can promote generally positive agendas like equal rights and improve the quality of life for many people who are successful. I hope you learned a lot from my discussion. Thank you for watching.
Thank you, Ms. Marasigan. So, do you have any questions about her topic? Let me just remind you guys, if you do not have your questions, we are going to ask you questions about our topics. So, remember that this is your recitation and class participation, and you should participate or else you have no grades at all. So, let me ask you again, do you have your questions? So if not, Miss Marasigan asked them questions. Okay, if Miss Marasigan's topic is clear now, let me discuss about the video I had watched. It is titled The Global Village 2018. It is all about the villages that are culturally diverse. There are Muslims, Christians, some have no religious affiliations, Hindu, some has practices folk religions, some practices different religions. It also says that the global village is very young. Some are under the age of 18, and that means that the population will grow past the 7.6 billion now to an estimated 9.8 billion by 2050. Some are over the age of 65. It also says that for the village to work, everyone must share what they have, and resources should be distributed fairly. But it is not, and it is a big problem to the village. 45% of child deaths are caused by this killer. It preys upon 11 in the global village. 804 million that are affected live in developing countries. Hunger. Because village have enough food for everyone, but not all can eat. Imagine that 52 in the global village lack access to toilets or latrines. Some lack access to taste or safe drinking water. These are all in a cycle of poverty and doesn't help the global economy. And some live in fear of bombardment, armed, attacked, landmines, rape, or kidnapping by armed groups. And the sad part is they can't always tell their story. Because in the global village, only few have computers, internet access, only few have electricity, and we are the village and we can change the future. Our job is to make the global village to a better place. This is to remind us and wake us up that there are people who needs our help, and if we can help, we should help. Okay, let us move on to our next presenter, Miss Precious Camille Mendoza, and she's going to explain about the globalization and media.
Good day everyone, I am Precious Camille Mendoza. So topic for today is all about globalization and media. Ano nga ba ang globalization and media? Globalization from early time, humans have used media to explore settle globalize their world in our day. Media has made our progressively smaller as nation and culture come into increasing contact with the world, enhancing global size and facilitating culture exchange at multiple flow of information and image between countries. Truth, international new broadcast, television, programming, new technologies, and music role of media. Understanding global size in needed Jack Lu to show globalization could not have occurred without media. Globalization is driven by technology, result in the international national economic sum, agree that is beneficial because it's allow for cultural exchange in a global spread of knowledge. Globalization and media is really one each other. The global spread, the national facilitates by technology, resulting in the culture exchange and interactive of the nation in return the spread of information and knowledge.
Thank you, Miss Mendoza. So, if anyone in this class wants to ask questions about her topic? So, if not, Miss Mendoza, please ask your questions. If Miss Mendoza's topic is clear now, let us move on to Miss Rizel's Mendoza's topic.
What is media? Media is the plural of medium that refers to the communication channels through which we disseminate news, music, movies, and education, promotional message, and other data. It includes physical and online newspapers, magazine, television, radio, telephone, and internet. The term refers to all means of everything ranging from a telephone call to the evening news on television can be called media. When you were talking about reaching a very large number of people, we say it mass media. Local media means a print publication that is primarily distributed within the service area, a radio or television station that primarily broadcasts into the service area. There are different types of media: the print media, broadcasting media, and internet media. Printed media refers to all forms of physical printed papers publications such as newspapers, magazines, books, and journals. Broadcast media describes the traditional forms of media that includes television and radio. Internet media of communication that fundamentally use the internet, social media, web portals, and emails.
So, thank you, Miss Mendoza. So, are there any questions? So, if none, Miss Mendoza, ask your questions. So, let us hear from Miss Camille Marasigan since her topic is related to Miss Rizel Mendoza's topic.
we are now in the 21st century, or what we call the information age, wherein the use of technology is rampant, and one of the products of technology is the social media, like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, etc. Social media is defined as a means of interaction or a web-based communication tools. So basically, social media is used to interact and communicate with other people. With social media, you can create, share, and exchange information and ideas all over the world. In social media, we can express ourselves in any form, such as sharing your photos in Facebook or Instagram, or creating TikTok videos. With regards of using social media, there's also limitations. There are few media scholars argue that the world is becoming culturally homogeneous. When we say homogeneous societal culture, it means that shared meanings are similar but there's still a little variations of beliefs that may exist. And with those existing variations of beliefs, we can't avoid the certain things like cybercrimes, cyberbullying, or creation of cyber ghettos may arise. And because of the differences of beliefs, there is what we call cyber ghettos. It means a home on cyberspace for marginalized groups of people. When we say marginalized, it is a group of people that is discriminated. They are composed of a portion or a small scale of individuals on the internet that have the potential to raise the significant unpolitical opinions, manipulation of a facts, and changing the tides of a specific events. The worldwide spread of technology creates vast connections that create new opportunities on a larger scale. The current focus of the globalization of technology is the connections created by networks of social media. That's why we should be mindful, or we should be cautious on what we post on our social media accounts. Social media have both beneficial and negative effects. These forms of communications have democratized access. Anyone with an internet connection or a smartphone can use Facebook or Twitter for free. These media have enabled users to be consumers and producers of information simultaneously. Let's have some examples. A Russian dictator, Vladimir Putin, has hired armies of social media trolls or a paid user who harass political opponents to manipulate public opinions through intimidation and the spreading of fake news. On 2016 presidential elections, Duterte did not just won the election at the ballot, he also won it on Facebook. Duterte was not a social media genius, rather he had the most committed and social media savvy true believers as his base. For our third example, a TikTok star named Bella Porch posted TikTok videos over the weekend. People recognized her body tattoos and it was considered controversial, especially for South Korean audiences. The event triggered an exchange of insulting and harassing comments from Koreans and became a hot topic in the Philippines. Some Filipinos came to defend Porch against some name-calling and other derogatory terms against Filipinos in general. On June 2020, more than a handful of Facebook users have reported the appearance of doppelganger accounts with their names. Some received similar distressful messages from the clones, with a few referring to terrorism, political actions, and threats of military surveillance. A number of users felt they are being targeted for the political views, linking the threats to vocal opinions online and participation in activism. Harvard has been among the top trending topics on Philippine Twitter after Filipinos hijacked the Ivy League post on Facebook and brought the discussion to other social networks. There have been more than 40,000 tweets about the prestigious university, mostly from Filipinos looking to have fun by pretending to be students of Harvard. As consumers of media, users must remain vigilant and learn how to distinguish fact from falsehood in a global media landscape that allows alternative facts. We must insist that some sources are more credible than other sources.
So again, are there any questions about her topic? So if not, Ms. Camille Marasigan, ask your questions. Our next and last presenter is Mr. Kevin Gabriel Maranan, so let us give the floor to him.
Good afternoon. Today we will talk about media and social media. But before that, what comes into your mind when you hear media and social media? A newspaper, radio, Facebook, Instagram, all of these are both media and social media. But how can we distinguish media from social media? First, what is media? Media are communication outlets or tools used to store and deliver information of data. The term refers to components of the mass media communication industry such as print media, publishing, the news media, photography, cinema broadcasting, digital media, and advertising. Media in short word is a tool that gives us information in many things. Today's generation, media surround us. It can be print media and broadcast media. For example, you're listening the radio and you're using media. Watching entertainment in television, reading articles in the newspaper, and searching new lifestyle in a magazine. All of these are media. Let's talk about social media. I know that all of us is familiar in social media. But what is social media? Social media is a collective term for website and application that focus on communication, community-based input, interaction, content sharing, and collaboration. Social media comes from the two words social and media. Social means to interact to others while media is giving information. When these two combine, it is interaction of people with exchanging of ideas and information. Example, when you wake up and you browse your feed in Facebook and you commented your stand in one article, you use social media. Let's talk about what are the difference of media and social media. Media refers to technology that reach a mass audience. Example, newspaper, magazine, radio, and television. While social media refers to computer-based technology that enable user to create and show content or participate in social networking. Example, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Media gives only information to the audience without any interaction, while social media can exchange information with interaction to the information source. What is the role of media in globalization? Today we are in a modern generation and all of the technology is more advanced than before. Media helps in exchanging of goods, finding a jobs, and also spreading information.
And that is all for our discussion. Again, are there any more questions, reactions, or suggestions? If there were none, thank you for listening. That would be all.